Right.
One of our favourite movies. You know, it's kind of one of those movies that actually strengthens a friendship. But you're totally into a movie and you love it so much. And you're like, yeah, and we still quote it to this day.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So movies are a good way that we chill out. We enjoy our movies.
Yeah.
The Predator franchise has always been a sort of favourite of ours. So when this one came out, we were pretty damn excited, right?
I think it's because we loved Predator 1 so much with Arnie and the rest of the gang, right? They're all there, and you love it so much that every Predator you go and watch, you're hoping it's going to be as good as Arnie.
Yeah.
So when this one came out, we were like, right, is this going to measure up? Is this going to be good enough?
Now, we've deliberately walked back from the cinema to the car and not said a word about it. So I actually don't know if you enjoyed it or not. So we're going to get to that, aren't we?
It's like the elephant in the room, right? We
we can't mention it.
Just been walking for 10 minutes and we're like, don't talk about it. So
wait,
it's raining.
Did you enjoy the movie?
I did enjoy the movie.
So did I. Out of 10, what would you give it?
Out of 10, I would give it an 8.
Ooh, where did it lack for you in the 2 points?
I felt it was 2 movies.
Right, okay, yeah.
We both laughed out loud at several points, right? So you're like, yeah, I fucking love it. But I felt it was like the second half was more in tune with Predator 1. I felt it was a bit more serious, and it was like, no, the hunt is on.
Yeah.
I felt the first half was like, there was a lot of humour. And it was like, funny, serious.
Yeah, the change.
And although I liked both aspects of it, I felt it should have been meshed a little bit more. I'm not. Yeah. Well, it should be meshed more.
There was a lot of reshoots with the movie, apparently. It was reshot at parts at night, so it's maybe an element of maybe they were going one way originally with the story and they've then changed who they're going with. I don't know.
So yeah. What about you?
I would give it probably 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
What I loved was what they had in the very first Predator was the character development. You liked everybody within the team.
And, yeah, you learned about everybody.
Yeah, and what was interesting was in the original movie, Shane Black was Hawkins. And in this one, Shane Black's directing it. So you're like, man. Yeah. But I really liked, I liked the character development. Each character was kind of unique and funny. I thought Olivia Munn was fantastic as well. I wasn't sure how that was going to play out because we had, I can't remember, was it Alien vs Predator had the girl in it, and that was a fine story. Yeah. I wasn't sure how it was going to pan out, but it worked out quite nicely. There was a good balance there as well.
Yeah, definitely. What I felt was, see in Predator 1, the whole character development, you got to know the characters over like a wee period of time. You kind of got to know each one. Whereas this one, although they kind of had that, I felt like it was a case of, we have to put the character development, and it was a little bit too quick. That was almost like an icebreaker when they're in the bus.
Yeah.
You're like, right, okay.
It's like they have to get that out of the way, isn't it? What I liked about it though was they managed to get the name that the Predator right away. And it wasn't corny because there's the movie called Predators.
Yep.
And he drops loads of information. He establishes very quickly they're hunters, and it just felt forced. Whereas in this, we're calling it the Predator, and Olivia Munn's character's like, well,
technically it's not
sport hunter. And the guy's like, well, we took a vote and Predator's cooler. So you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. What was it she said? The line was it? Technically, bass fishing, bass fisherman is more accurate.
Jason Petty's asking if it was a remake of the original. No, it's technically the sequel. Well, Predator 2 was the sequel to the first one. This would be the third one.
Yeah, this would be a third.
So it's in that timeline. So
because it's on Earth. Yeah. Therefore, it's in the 1, 2, 3.
In the movie, there's obviously 2 Predators, 2 different types as well. The big one was cool.
Yeah.
He had different technology. What was awesome about it, he had a bit of a swagger to him.
Yeah. And actually, you got a glimpse of it in Predator 1 when you see him sort of running. You're like, yeah, you could sort of always tell it was a human in a suit.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it was like a badass human in a suit, right?
I love the swagger though. There's certain points in the movie where he just doesn't give a fuck there's people around. Yeah. Right? He's just like, I'm badass, you can just hide behind that rock if you want.
It's going to take a lot to kill me and I know it, therefore I'm just going to chill out.
Yeah. And the technology side of things I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad. Obviously the tagline is the hunt has evolved.
Yeah.
And it was like a proper, the hunt has definitely evolved. You know, it's not just a hunt, but it's like everything about it's like, man, this is cool. Yeah. Which is what we're looking for.
The only thing is, and sometimes I think these movies, I never 100% agree with the weaponry because for example, the Predator's gun. Now, if that hits a human, it wipes them out.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, even in the very first Predator, Arnie gets shot in the arm by the laser gun. You know, when he'd run, get to the chopper.
Yeah, yeah.
And he gets sent up. I guess it technically missed him, but it's a
It's
graze.
like a skiff.
And yet when it hits, what's his face character? Jesse Ventura's character, it blows a hole in his stomach. You're like, whoa!
Yeah.
And in this movie, there are scenes where I think even the Predator gets hit by some sort of weaponry, and it doesn't have the damage you were expecting it to have.
Yeah.
And it sometimes felt like they were firing plastic bullets as well.
I think all in all, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
There's a few things that do you know what? I see movies in terms of, like, it's an 8 out of 10. Like, for me, it's an 8 out of 10. Okay, it was good. It was worth watching. Great movie. You can really enjoy it. But for me, Predator 1 was a 10 out of 10. Always will be. Like, for me, Terminator 2 was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, throughout time, you'll get, oh my god, this is, and you can tell that it was filmed to be like, this is like a cool movie.
Yeah.
Whereas that, I don't think it was designed. It wasn't filmed to be a 10 out of 10. It was designed to be like, yeah, we'll make some more money on this. We'll give you a good movie.
Yeah.
But it's not going to have all the pieces.
Special effects were pretty good in it.
I would say so.
There was a couple of times I wasn't 100%. It was when the Predator was doing something in the background and two characters were like either running or scuttling around in the foreground, and it just looked a bit clunky. You could tell the CGI, the Predator's movement, because it was the man in the suit. It was Kevin Peter Hall in the first two Predators, and Kevin Peter Hall was almost 7 foot, and he mastered the movement of the Predator, and just the way they moved in the first two movies, it was fantastic. This one, because it was all CGI, you didn't get that kind of hunter, creepy alien feel to it.
In the 1 and 2, it's kind of like almost kind of hunching, not hunching down, but like
there was smoother movements.
And it was almost like he was ready for battle. He could kind of come down, arms would come out and be like, right, I'm ready to battle here.
He had a real creepy kind of hunt feel. This one, the Predator felt more like almost like a Terminator feel, in the sense that he wasn't neither Predator.
Invincible.
Yeah, it was like, I'm going to take the bullets and I'm just going to kick some feckin' ass, right?
You'd much rather do a bit more dynamic.
Yeah, whereas in the original ones, they were trying to avoid bullets, they were trying to stay still.
Yeah.
It was I mean, do you think it's potentially set up for a sequel?
Obviously, we're no spoilers here, but the last scene, you're like, right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Almost, this is not spoiling, but almost a certain character in Avengers, like.
Yes.
And it's almost like, oh man, that's going to be cool if they make another movie like that.
They'd always discussed, I remember reports, because obviously we're Predator daft, but there was always reports about making a Predator movie, and they ended up making Predators, but it wasn't as great. But they were supposed to make a movie, or there was always talks of a movie of them going to the Predator planet and taking the battle to them.
Right, okay.
And then I think off the back of that it changed, and it became the movie Predators, where they ended up on a Predator planet, but they were getting hunted again.
Yeah.
So I could see another movie, a sequel to this, going around those original lines might be quite good.
Yeah. I can see that. But all in all, it was a good movie and definitely worth going to see.
Yeah. It makes me want to go back and watch 1 and 2 again.
Yeah, I know.
Because the thing is,
I've actually watched 2. I think I've maybe watched it 2 or 3 times. Whereas Predator 1, you go back and go watch it again and again. If it's ever on TV, you're like, I want to watch that.
See, what I loved about Predator 2 was the change in technology. They added in the throwing disc.
Yeah.
There was more use of this. In fact, there wasn't a staff in Predator 1, but it was in Predator 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought in and also his shoulder cannon in Predator 2 was just cooler. It was just smaller, smoother.
And I think that's probably why. I mean, ultimately, if it's human versus Predator, the Predator wins every single time. So almost like in Predator 1, it was good because he's obviously kind of out by himself, doesn't have everything.
Yeah. One of the things though, and they did it again in this movie, and it pees me off. And they do it. Just we watched Terminator the other night, or you watched it, and then I watched it a day or two later. Like the Predator, like the Terminator, like it can snap your neck instantly. Now you know that scene in Terminator where he's going after Sarah Connor right at the end, right? Mm-hmm. And he just grabs and throws him out of the way. And in fact, even in Terminator Salvation, he gets a hold of John Connor and throws him. Like,
yeah. Why not just done?
Yeah, or put your hand through the heart like he does in other kill moves. Kills him instantly. And in this movie, there was scenes where the Predator's grabbing them and throwing them. I'm like,
yeah, but then there's
like, why?
There's logic, and then there's movie logic.
Well, it's so that they don't kill off main characters. It just annoys me when it happens, because you're like, man, if he's serious as trained killer, he's not going to grab you and throw you around.
And let's be fair, if you're going to refer to like Terminator, it's the whole like, yeah, I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to, you know, get Sarah Connor and everything else. Like, man, if you had that technology, you could get her, you know, get Sarah Connor's mum, you know, and kill her, and you can go, if they go back twice, then they can go back 3 times, and you could get them at any point. You get them on when they're on the crapper or when they're sleeping, or but it's the movie logic, right?
But it just frustrates me when, like you say, they could click the neck just like that, and sometimes they do, and I'm pretty sure they snapped the neck a few times, but grabbing the main characters and just throwing them, I'm like,
yeah.
But what they did in this movie, which I'm so glad about, the Predator bites people.
Yes, because he has huge teeth, right?
In all the other movies, he's like, "Arr!" It's like the scene out of Conan the Barbarian with the seagull.
Yeah.
The seagull in Conan Barbarian lands his shoulder.
Vulture.
Was that Vulture? Oh, well, yeah,
Vulture,
you're right,
yeah.
a Vulture, yeah. And he's all drowsy, he's like, "Arr!"
Yeah,
it was like that.
exactly that. Actually, because when you first seen it, you're like, you know, you've got the huge teeth, and I actually did think, did they actually use them? And I was only like, oh, yeah, they do.
This movie, they most definitely do. There's scenes earlier on in the movie when you're like, man, this Predator's kicking ass. And kicking ass in a cooler way.
But you know, yeah, but I was actually a wee bit disappointed on then. It's not a spoiler to say, obviously, there's a happy ending, blah, 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 right? So it's not a spoiler, but in Predator 1, it's like, the whole final battle was epic, and it's like, it come to this whole conclusion, you're like, oh man, and you can feel it building and building and building, and I don't think this one had it. I didn't build enough. All of a sudden it was like, Predator was kicking ass, and oh shit, okay, that's over there.
Yeah, it didn't have a right story arc at the end.
Nah.
You could be forgiven if you found out that they had reshot the ending or something.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the original ending or something like that. But on the whole, so I would give it an 8.5.
I'd give it an 8.
So, The Predator 2018. The coaches give it, on balance, 8.25. We'll settle on 8.
See you after.
See you.
Bye bye.